It's your girl, Shauna Speaks to Inspire, and this is Girl Talk No Chaser. Honey, I am coming back today. Y'all are mad at Monique out here, huh? Talking about these bonnets, slippers, and pajamas at the airport. Well, stay tuned, because if you triggered by her, then you definitely gonna be triggered by us. Let's go. This is Girl Talk No Chaser with your girl, Shauna Speaks to Inspire. As you can see, I am by myself tonight. So my partner in crime had to take care of some business tonight. So I'm doing this dolo. But as you know, this is your girl, Shauna Speaks, the why coach, the transformational coach, the motivational speaker, and best author. So honey, y'all guys are really triggered by Auntie Momo out here. Like, she got y'all on some, y'all mad. Y'all mad. Well, let me tell you something. I really have to say that I agree with everything she said, 99.99% of everything that she said, because it's true. So I'm going to play a little bit of the video for you guys so you can understand what I was talking about. And then we could come back and figure out what's really going on with. All right.
It took me a minute to say what I'm getting ready to say, because I want to make sure I'm not saying it in judgment, and I want to make sure I'm saying it from a place of love. Y'all, some of y'all have given me the title of Auntie, and I'm honored that y'all do that, right? But there are times where Auntie got to talk to her babies and say some real shit. So yesterday, I was in the airport in Atlanta because I'm in Jackson, Mississippi now at Chuckles Comedy Club, right? And we got 3 shows tonight. We got a matinee at 5:30, then we got 7, then we got 10, right? And I'm excited. I always love going to the stage. So when we got to the airport yesterday, I was excited, like, all right, baby, let's go get him in Jackson, Mississippi. And as we began to walk through the airport, I saw so many, actually too many to count and too many for me to tap, but I saw so many of our young sisters in head bonnets, scarves, slippers, pajamas.
Come on, Auntie Mo.
Blankets wrapped around them, and this is how they're showing up to the airport.
This is how they're showing up at the airport, honey.
I've been seeing it, not just at the airport. I've been seeing it at the store, at the mall. I've been seeing sisters showing up with these bonnets and headscarves and slippers. And the question that I'm having to you, my sweet babies, when did we lose pride in representing ourselves?
When did we lose pride?
When did we step away of, let me make sure I'm presentable when I leave my home? Let me make sure I'm representing the family I created, so that if I'm out in the street, I look like I have pride in myself. And I'm not saying no full face of makeup. I'm not saying no full front lace frontal. I'm not saying none of that. All I'm saying is, could you please comb your hair?
Huh?
And if you don't want to comb your hair, they got enough shit out here now, baby, where you can style yourself up and look like you have pride. I'm not saying you don't have pride.
Okay, let's leave it right there, right? What she's saying is true, guys. I don't want to play any more of it, but for the fact of it is, she's telling the truth. You know, unfortunately, this generation is a generation of everything started with my birth. I don't got to listen to nothing nobody say. Anything that you say, you're not my mother, you're not my mother, you're not this, you're not that. Y'all are not listening to anything. This woman came on here. She's a veteran, and she's an elder, and she's a black woman of power. And she came on here and told you guys with love that she don't want to see you outside like that. She came on and told you that she does not think it's presentable. And it isn't. And if you would do your history, which I'm going to give you a little history lesson tonight, you will understand that what she's saying is 100% true. It's no shade. It's not bashing. Your generation is so sensitive that nobody can tell you anything. We can't say anything to you without y'all blowing up. And I get it. You know why? Because sometimes us as an adults, we do go a little beyond of trying to help y'all. But it's because y'all don't listen. You're like a stiff-necked nation that the Bible talks about. Nobody can tell you anything. You're defensive. You always want to fight. If you just listen with your heart and not with defense, you will get exactly what she's trying to say. It's not presentable. You look like you're homeless. You look like you didn't take a shower. You don't look like you take pride in yourself. There's no excuse for wearing bonnets and scarves and pajamas at an airport, Walmart, or Target. It's not. So for all of y'all that want to cancel her, cancel nation. All right. I want the smoke too. But I'm coming on here just to reiterate what she said. We already, as a black culture, have enough things against us. We already have enough things against us. Already. So coming outside any kind of way, it doesn't show like you care about yourself. And your thing is y'all don't care but what nobody got to say, but y'all don't care about nothing. And it's unfortunate because us as elders coming behind y'all, and I'm not that old, I'm 46, us coming behind you, we're leaving this to you. How are you going to take care of us? But I sat and I thought about it. I said, what's the difference with our generation than that generation that's now? It's because there's no more grandmothers. There's no more real grandmothers. Grandmothers now are 40. Like me, I got 3 grandkids. Grandmothers are not 60 and 70 really anymore. That's where our pride, that's where our lineage, that's where our wisdom came from. My grandmother came outside presentable. She wore her scarf and threw her wig across the room inside, not outside. House slippers was just that, house slippers. There was no pajamas. You wore slips. My grandmother showed me how to cook and clean and showed me how to be presentable outside, and I got it from her. But there's no real grandmothers left because all the grandmothers are the same age as the kids. And the grandmothers don't want to watch their kids because they just got stopped watching y'all. So I get it. And there's no aunties. Aunties is out there doing their thing. And for me being an aunt, as soon as I say something to my nieces and nephews, the mother come back and rebuttal what I said, or they don't listen to what my mother said. So it's a lose for me. But that same nurturing and wisdom that my grandmother and standards that my grandmother instilled in me is the same thing that I try to instill in my niece, try to instill in my nephews. But you got to hear, don't say nothing to your aunt, don't say this, don't say that. And it's hard because it take a village to raise a kid. And half of y'all been raising yourselves. I know what that feels like, i.e. parents working too much, emotionally not there, on drugs, in jail. So you're raising yourselves. So because you're walking around with all this trauma and you're hurt because your parents wasn't there or there was no real grandmas or aunties to take care of you, you came up with your own perspective, your own way of thinking, your own way of living. I don't care. Nobody can tell me nothing. I don't need nobody. It's just me, myself, and I. I get it. But it's not just you, yourself, and I. Because you got people like Monique. You got people like me that will come on here, make these videos, be controversial. Not afraid of you because we're going to tell you. And y'all always got something to say, even when you shouldn't be saying anything. And for the older women out here looking a hot mess, you're not teaching the young girls nothing. Mind your business, mind your business, mind your business. Oh, you on TV. Oh, Monique sitting up there with a robe on. But she's in her house. She's in her house. In her house. It's not presentable. You do look like a hot mess, baby girl. I don't care about no weaves and natural hair and all that. I don't care about that. And you can't sit up here and argue about a scarf versus a Muslim woman wearing her hijab or Indian woman wearing her, and I want to get it right because I don't want to disrespect nobody, her gunat, or an African woman wearing a durka or a jelly, and a married woman wearing a burqa, full covered. It's a cultural and it's a religious thing. They wear it with pride. They adorn for a reason. The Muslim woman's covered up her hair because so that another man of that's not related, that's not a relative other than her husband and the father-in-law can see her uncovered. And if I'm getting it wrong, I apologize, but I did a little studying of it because you're sitting up here trying to make that the same thing, and it's not the same thing. It's not. So I'm here to tell you that when you see an African woman walking around with the Ankara fabric on her head and she wears it, it's adorned as a crown of royalty and for whatever tribe and place she belongs. It's not just, oh, I woke up and I don't want to do my hair. It's not, oh, because I'm just going down to the store. Oh, because I'm just going to Walmart. No. Every day you walk out your house, you're supposed to present yourself for any opportunity, a positive opportunity to hit you. Not for somebody to pull you over because they think that you're going to rob them or somebody to clutch their purse. I don't got to talk to the white counterparts because that's not my concern. They're not my responsibility. You are. And y'all could cry and scream and yell and, oh, mind your business, that and the third. But all you're doing is just trying to be defensive over something that does not need to be defended. Everything does not warrant a defense. Sometimes just take it in out of anger and without anger and listen and go, well, let me try something different. Let me go outside with my hair done and take a little pride in myself and take some time, some self-care with myself before I leave the house and see what my day might look like. See what the universe will project to me. Y'all out here talking about canceling people. Y'all need to cancel yourselves. Put them bonnets. I understand one girl like, oh, I guess her name is Jessica Wu. She's another YouTuber. Oh, no, mind your business, sis, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I wear my bonnet to the airport because of germs. I get it, but you're wearing your bonnet from the cab through the whole terminal, sitting there, getting on a plane with a bonnet on. No, sis, you're wrong. I wear my bonnet, I put it in my bag, and I put it on the back of my head with my front out yes, I agree with that. But you know Monique wasn't talking about that. You know she wasn't talking about the Muslim or Indian woman. You know she was talking about us wearing it around our head like a bandana. And let me give you some history about what a scarf meant in slavery time. And you can look it up yourself. Slave women and men had to wear scarves on their head. It was a sign of oppression, subordination, and that you were a slave and who you belonged to. And to stop the spread of lice. They were not allowed to walk around and do their hair. So in darkness, when they're allowed to have a little moment to themselves, they plaited their hair or braided their hair. But they couldn't, there was no days of going outside and looking like something. There was no days of being beautiful and wearing their natural fro out because they weren't allowed. The scarf was given to them as a sign of being oppressed. And that's what we look like. And we're taking that same curse and we're bringing it here in the 21st century. Do your history. The way that you're wearing your scarves is signs of oppression, and that's what you look like. I'm trying to teach us something. Look it up. Do y'all remember Mrs. Butterworth? Do y'all remember Aunt Jemima, how they looked on the carton? And for your young kids, if you don't remember, just look it up. Go to Wikipedia, look it up. Aunt Jemima was a dark-skinned, heavy-set slave woman with a scarf tied with in the front with raggedy clothes on that represented the pancake mix that we still eat to this day. Mrs. Butterworth was shaped big in a bottle with a bonnet on her head and the top that represented her carrying something. It was racially motivated for slavery that they changed it in 1989. The Aunt Jemima box, and now she has curly salt and pepper hair with pearls in her ear because it was disrespectful. Tell me in my comments, please, down below. Tell me what is your cultural reason of wearing a bonnet and a scarf outside the way that you do. If you're not Muslim, if you're not Indian, if you're not African descent, if you're not going to a party that's adorned as a crown and you wear it with a bonnet, even if you take it and fold it with the bun in the front, it still represents royalty. You wearing a bonnet has no value other than keeping your weave or your natural hair from falling out on your pillow at nighttime. I don't care what you try to create. You can walk around here and make trends up and oh, this is what we're doing. No, you're wrong. It's disrespectful to our culture and it's disrespectful to the slaves because they never wanted to wear it. Do you know when blacks were able to fly and get on planes and trains, that they dressed up in 3-piece suits. The girls put on the best dress that they could find with their little shoes and frilly socks. It was an honor to dress up to go on a plane. It was an honor to be able to get on a train and go somewhere other than in the city that they say, but not us. We just get up, we throw on what we are, we look like we never took a shower in days, and we going to the airport. And you already know that if you ain't TSA pre-check, you taking off your shoes. And then for those of y'all that wearing the wig that's attached to the hat, that got to come off. Hello? We got to take much more pride and respect in ourselves. And I came on here because it's so sad how you're trying to rip Monique. And she said it with love. But it's so sad because a lot of us have raised yourselves. Where the real grandmothers at? Where the real aunties? The ones that'll stare y'all in the face and tell you we're not scared of you and we're going to keep loving on y'all and we're going to keep telling y'all stuff. Unfortunately, the only thing I don't agree with is I'm not tapping none of y'all at the airport or in the store. Not because I'm scared, because y'all want to fight. And I'm not going to jail for nobody. But it's sad that we can't come to you and say, hey, little queen, hey, sis, take that off your head. Ain't nobody saying you got to be dolled up and put makeup on. Like, nothing. Just come outside. Put a hat on your head. You don't know who is going to watch you. You could be the smartest person, but if you show up like that, you don't know what millionaire, you don't know if your husband or your wife with the guys for the do-rags, you don't know who is watching and what opportunity you're missing by your presentation. We shouldn't only have to dress up to go to court and interviews. If it's not presentable to wear a do-rag or a bonnet or pajamas at court or at an interview, then why should it be presentable any other way? And half of y'all dress like that because y'all don't got nowhere to go. You don't have a job and you don't have nothing to look forward to other than just the day. Because you're not setting nothing up for yourselves to look forward to. You're basically living day by day by day. The next 24 hours, what am I going to do? Rolling out of bed. No direction. You're not putting nothing in place for yourself. No achievement, nothing. That's why it's easy for you to throw a bonnet on and throw on whatever to go outside. I was in a hotel the other day. I'm on the second floor. The lobby's downstairs right under my room. I had my bonnet on and my dress. And I needed to get some paper because I was writing notes for this particular podcast. And I went to the door and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to run downstairs. I said, no. So I saw a whole bunch of guys. There's a wedding downstairs. Threw it. I took that bonnet and threw it on the table. Flicked my hair and I went downstairs. The littlest things. Because I knew my grandmother. I heard her. You don't go outside like that. I won't go in my laundry room in my building with a bonnet on my head. And if I got a scarf and I put a hat on. Yes, we do have bad hair days. We know that already. But you got to it's about taking pride, taking the time to do what you need to do. And I hear a lot of, oh, you don't know what she's going through. You don't know why she dressed like that. But guess what? It's nobody's business what you're going through. Dress your hell up. I'll say it again. Dress your hell up. Nobody should be able to see that you're going through something. Nobody's supposed to be able to see that you're going through something. Nobody. Because then if we do, when we come up to you, you're going to tell us about our business. You dress your hell up. I don't care if the world is burning behind you. You look like you are not on fire. Period. I'm not going to drag this out. I'm not going to keep getting and saying what I got to say, but you get the gist of it. You're beautiful. You're queens. You deserve more. That bonnet, those pajamas, those dirty house slippers, you bring her back in the house. You bring a corona. You bring in feces, urine. You got kids. You don't know why you got corona, why your baby keep getting an ear infection, why everybody keep getting sick. Because you keep bringing that dirt right back in the house that was never supposed to go outside. And then some of you know what you'll do. You'll go right outside and go right down and plop right on your bed. All them germs. Think about it. And you know you do it. It's called house slippers. You should have some slippers or flip-flops that you can wear outside and leave them at your door. And then ones that you wear to your house if you got to wear slippers to the house. It's not an outfit. It's not cultural. It's not accepting. Y'all made it that because somebody did it. Now y'all all want to do it. And there's another thing. Where my young millennial leaders are. Where is the one they're going to say, you know what? I'm not going to dress like that. I wasn't raised like that. You could wear that. I wear that inside. Where are my millennial leaders? It's a bunch of followers following each other down a rabbit hole. The blind leading the blind. And where are my older people that care about these young kids and want to just say something? I get it. They're ruthless. They're mean. They don't want to hear anything. But I'm still going to keep saying what I want to say. If I get to 0 followers or 10, I'm still going to say, because I know I'm changing somebody's mindset. I'm giving somebody a different perspective on life. Because I want you to win. I want you to succeed. Do you know that if I were walking around here and not care and go outside any kind of way, I wouldn't be as far as I am right now? I wouldn't have the job, the career, the business, the opportunities that I have. The wealthy people that I know, the people that I sit next to at the airport in first class or whatever class, and they talk and we exchange numbers. They wouldn't talk to me if I had a bonnet and pajamas on. They wouldn't. Don't let your Jordans and your ones and all these and your Yeezys be the only thing that look right on you when you're going out. Or the only thing that you afford that makes you look wealthy or whatever the case may be. Save your money. Take pride in yourself. You can do it. I believe in you. Our culture cannot die from stupidity and just being stubborn. Let's get up and take pride in who we are. We're strong. Everything that ever's been on this earth is started on black people's backs. Slaves, if you don't remember anything I said tonight, just remember that the scarf you wear on your head is not a sign of royalty. Do your research. It was a law passed that they had to wear scarves all the time. And the men wore hats. They wasn't allowed to get dressed up. They weren't allowed to take the scarf off and go outside with their fro. They had to do it behind closed doors and maybe on Sunday when they were able to go to church. And even then they still had a scarf. Look at the old pictures. Scarf represented stress. It represented, look at Good Times and all these other shows. If you still got some elders in your family, talk to them and they would do your research. I did my research because I know scarves meant something different. And you know, us as black people, we take the bitter with the sweet. We take something that's negative and we turn it into something positive. Somebody call you a bitch. Oh, that's right, I'm a bad B. We try to turn everything into terms of endearment, empowerment, and everything does not warrant that. Let's call it what it is. A spade is a spade. That's it. We can do better. Leave, like, comment, subscribe. Leave comments down below. Tell me how you feel. I already know what it's going to be. But I'm going to tell you something. My grandmother, never. The older women in our family, never. Never. They wore shoes everywhere. Wig, whatever they had in their hair, they wore it. They never had a scarf on. I never knew my grandmother had gray hair until I probably was in my 20s when I was taking care of her. When she got sick. I didn't know my grandmother had no wig. I didn't know how my grandmother hair. She must have was braiding her hair when we all was at school. I never saw my grandma allow us to braid her hair. She braided her own hair in her own time. When my grandfather was at work and my mother was at work and me and my brother was at school. One day my grandma got sick. I took the wig off and I said, "Grandma, you gray. You got braids? Who did your braids?" "Oh, I did my braids." "When?" That's how it's supposed to be. Nobody's supposed to see what your house looks like because you represent your family. You represent your house and then you represent yourself. Yes, people judge you. Yes, this is the world of judgment. But it's beyond that what I'm talking about. They already think we're animals. They already treat us wrong. We can't do anything. We got a phone, it's a gun. I'm not getting on here talking about no natural hair, no weeds. I don't care. Wear it. Wear it down your back. As long as you look presentable and you look like a queen and a king. But a peasant, never. A slave, never. Miss Butterworth and Aunt Jemima, never. And let me give you another fun fact. original name of Aunt Jemima is supposed to be aunt, right? But they say aunt. It says Jemima. But during the whatever the man named Crow, during what's the name Crow? Her name was Jemima Crow. Jemima. Another thing that you didn't know. You got to do your research. She was named after the Crow Law, and the slave that was portrayed on the box. Her name is Nancy Wilson, a slave model. Look it up. It's either Nancy Nelson or Nancy Wilson. I'll put it in below, whatever, because I didn't write it down. But that's who portrayed Aunt Jemima, and her name was Jemima Crow first. Because you know, back in the days, slaves had last names from their slave owners. Another fun fact, look it up. I just want y'all to do right. And the way that y'all bash Monique, it was uncalled for. But I get it. You're defensive. You're raising yourselves. You think that you're right, and then you want to be so grown. But then in the same bag, you come right back and ask for help until your back is against the wall. Beating on each other, pulling out cameras instead of helping somebody. Nobody calls the cops anymore. Nobody helps the woman getting beat by the man. We just pull out our cameras. World star. That's the life this is the generation that's going on right now. That's following us. Y'all got to do better than that. You got to do better. Being angry is one thing. Changing and doing better is another. My time with y'all has been far well spent. I'm ready for the comments. I stand on what I said. Bonnets, pajamas, and scarves are not to be worn outside. You look a hot mess. It's not presentable, and you're going to miss a lot of opportunities. You're going to miss your husband. You're going to miss that job. You're going to miss it if you don't start taking pride in your appearance. That's all she was saying is taking pride in being happy to dress up and shower and put on something nice. Just take your time. Your minds are going so fast. You slow down. Slow down and smell the air for once. Slow down and just listen to what the elders are saying to you. We're not trying to hurt you. You think y'all the only ones that been through something? We've been through worse stuff. We've been through worse. And every generation, it was worse and it's getting better. But it's like with y'all, it's making us revert back to slavery 2021. We've been through some things. That's why we tell you, we're not talking from our butt. You think DNA started with you? It started with your mother's DNA, your father's DNA. We've been here first. Yes, I get it. Some of the stuff, for even me, I look at how my ancestors told me stuff. It was done out of fear. One thing I do give y'all credit for is that y'all are very, very fearless. But sometimes you're fearless in the wrong places. But y'all do go out there and get what y'all need to get. I give that to y'all. I won't take that away from y'all. Some of us elders wish that we could be as fearless as you guys is. But your fearless and your disrespect is the problem. We were fearful, but we also respected our elders no matter what nationality. An adult was an adult. I didn't care if the African man from Nigeria came and said something to me and he was a friend of my family. I'm not going to disrespect him because he's not American. I'm not going to disrespect the Chinese man in the Chinese restaurant because he's not black, or the Arabic guy at my grocery store because he's not American, he's not black. This is what you do. An adult is an adult. This way of living and being raised, it seems like it's being extinct. Let's do better. Stand for something, because if you don't, you're going to fall for everything. Be a trendsetter. Be a leader. Take pride. Just listen. If you're listening to this message, before you want to say something to me, because you're defensive about what I may have said, listen, dissect it, and then respond. I'm not going to respond to anything that's ignorant, no insults, as I'm over it. We can have dialogue like adults. If you want to be an adult, I'll treat you like an adult. I have a 29-year-old. Okay? So let's do better. I love you guys. This has been your girl, Shauna Speaks to Inspire. You can follow us on Girl Talk No Chaser on Facebook. You can follow us, Girl Talk No Chaser, on Instagram. And of course, Girl Talk No Chaser on YouTube. I love you guys. Have a great day. And just do better. You are a queen. Baby girl, you're beautiful. And to my brothers that be listening to this, y'all kings. Let's do better. It's not us against us. It's them against us. Not us against us. Black lives cannot matter until Black lives matter to us. Black lives cannot matter to nobody if it don't matter to us. Have a good night, y'all.